On Global TV News Express, federal government dismisses claims migrant scholars abandoned in Morocco. In business, disclosure revenue rises as federal government paid over 400 billion naira electricity subsidies in 3 months. On foreign scene, Trump weighs a military option to acquire Greenland. In sports, Eagles depart phase 4 Bucharest Thursday for AFCON quarters final clash with Algeria. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to news on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Sadia Yakubu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channels 276. And now the news in details. The federal government has dismissed claims that Nigerian scholarship students in Morocco have been abandoned, describing the report as leading and deliberately intended to misinform the public. Earlier reports suggested that Nigerian students studying in Morocco under the federal government scholarship scheme were facing hardships, including homelessness and lack of medical support, prompting widespread concern on social media. The Director of Press and Public Relations at the Federal Ministry of Education, in a statement, said narratives circulating in some quarters were false, unfounded, and deliberately crafted to misinform the public. Prominent Niger Delta leader and traditional ruler Asari Dokubo has pledged his support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-election bid ahead of the 2027 general elections. Dokubo made the declaration during a visit by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to his place in the Gema River State. Ubong Usoro completes the report.
Minister Nyesom Wike, who had been on a thank you tour across local government areas in Rivers State, explained that the visit was also aimed at mobilizing support for President Tinubu's second-term ambition and reconnecting with a long-time associate.
So I grant reception
in an emotional address, Asari Dokubo thanked President Tinubu for standing by him during a difficult period of his life, describing the gesture as one he would never forget. He said the time has come to return the favor by supporting the president's bid for a second term in office.
We are very grateful for this visit and we cherish it. Like he said, my friend, everything that is going to happen, I'll be with you in making sure that my friend.
Dokubo's endorsement reflects growing political alignment among traditional rulers and key stakeholders as consultations and mobilization intensify ahead of the 2027 general elections. Ubong Usoro, Global Television News.
Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted former Attorney General of Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, his wife and son bail of 500 million naira each, with strict conditions including submission of landed property, documents and traveling papers. Justice Nwite admitted the defendant to bail following their arraignment on a 16-count charge filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. In his ruling, the judge ordered that each defendant must produce 2 sureties in like sum, and the sureties must own landed properties within Maitama, Asokoro, or Gwarimpa district of Abuja. For many teenagers, running on just a few hours of sleep has become normal. Experts warn that sleep is not optional. It is essential to how teens learn, think, and stay mentally healthy. This report takes a closer look at how sleep shapes teen learning and mental health and why rest matters more than many realize. Our correspondent has the details.
Adolescence is a critical stage of brain development, and sleep plays a key role in that process. During these years, a teen's internal body clock shifts, hormonal changes, especially in melatonin, make teenagers feel more alert late at night and more tired early in the morning.
Whenever we have too little sleep, you find out that you start having issues with concentration, you become very forgetful, you're unable to focus on simple tasks because you find your mind wandering to places and unable to stay present.
When sleep is lacking, learning suffers. Tired brains struggle to focus in class, process new information and retain what was studied. Reaction times slow down, mistakes increase and exam performance can drop. Even high-performing and highly motivated students can find it difficult to keep up when they are sleep deprived.
Sleep is very, very important as far as learning is concerned because if you notice, not even as teenagers, even as adults, if you stay too long without sleep, your brain will not function as it should. So talking about teenagers who are in that phase of development, it is very, very necessary that they have a balance of sleep and work to ensure that their learning is efficient or effective.
Technology is one of the biggest sleep disruptors for teenagers. Phones, tablets and laptops emit blue light that interferes with the brain's natural sleep signals. Social media, online games and streaming platforms also keep the mind active late into the night, pushing bedtime later, reducing sleep quality. Beyond academics, sleep is vital for emotional balance. Without enough rest or sleep, teens may find more irritable, anxious or overwhelmed. Over time, ongoing sleep deprivation can weaken mental resilience, making it harder to cope with school stress, peer pressure, and everyday challenges. Sleep is not just a luxury, it is a foundation for learning, mental health, and overall well-being. When teenagers get enough rest, they think more clearly, learn more effectively, and handle stress better. Prioritizing healthy sleep habits can make a real difference, not just in the classroom, but in every part of a young person's life. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has predicted haze and sunshine from today to Friday across the country. NIMET Weather Outlook released in Abuja envisaged sunny and hazy skies over the northern region throughout the forecast period. It anticipated sunny skies over the southern region with patches of clouds over the region and chances of isolated thunderstorms accompanied with light rains over parts of Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom and Cross River State later in the day. The Kano State government has reaffirmed its commitment to engaging youth who are willing to actively participate in governance and overall development of the state. Speaking at the 2026 All Kano Youth Conference, the Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs, Ibrahim Waya, emphasized the vital role of youth in driving socio-economic growth in Kano and Nigeria at large. Global Television correspondent Idris Jibril reports.
The conference, organized by the Northern Youth Assembly in collaboration with Northwest University, is themed Setting the Agenda for the Development of Kano State. It aims to boost the morale of Kano youth and encourage their active participation in shaping the state's development agenda. According to the state government, the era of youth involvement in political thuggery is over. The administration of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has made significant investments to create thousands of job opportunities for young people across the state.
Why the organization organizing this kind of thing is in line with the commitment and the goal of His Excellency, and also the need for the youth to be very much agitated this time around, because we have really observed a lot of things where many number of youth have been misled, have been misinformed, particularly those that actually patronize the social media. It's time for the youth to be fully informed and also to have a focus and also adopt one single goal.
The commissioner noted that the 2026 All Kano Youth Conference is one of several initiatives designed to empower youth and provide them with platforms to contribute to policy direction and the state development.
The Northern Youth Assembly is actually spearheading an effort of reorienting the youth for them to understand first. The most important thing, I think the serious problem we are having is the confidence, building confidence and building trust in the youth. Let them develop a confidence that they can do it. This is the most important thing, and this is the one thing that is actually missing in them.
Participants at the event highlighted the importance of staying away from drug abuse and other criminal activities, calling on youth to focus on building their future through education, entrepreneurship, and civic education.
The
problem of our youth these days is taking a high test life. When you take a low level life, then you can easily become what you want to become. So we are urging on you, make yourself nobody, then God will make you somebody. At the end of the conference, youth representatives from the 44 local government areas of the state are expected to present a communique outlining their development agenda for Kano State. From Kano, Idris Jibrin reporting for Global Television News.
The Labour Party has expressed regret over presenting Peter Obi as its presidential candidate in the 2023 general election. The party's Deputy National Youth Leader Barry Jackson made this known while appearing on Big Talk, a political program aired on Global Television. Political correspondent Ubong Usoro reports.
Barry Johnson said the Labour Party now believes Peter Obi did not fully meet expectations required for Nigeria's presidency. He explained that the party had limited time to conduct a comprehensive assessment of Obi's leadership and background before presenting him as flag bearer to Nigerians.
We have the chance to tell Nigerians who Peter Obi is.
Right.
Remember, in 2023, we were in a hurry to present candidates.
According to Johnson, the former presidential candidate made claims about transitioning Nigeria from consumption to production, which he now said, in the party's view, did not fully align with Peter Obi's business dealings, particularly in relation to imports.
My party, the Labour Party, released a statement, and we are asking Nigerians to forgive us for presenting somebody who has no capacity, who has no capability, who is not ready to understand the politics of Nigeria.
He further noted that some of Obi's public statements were considered divisive rather than unifying, adding that the party had since distanced itself from him. Barry Johnson also disclosed that Peter Obi has since moved from the Labour Party and is now affiliated with the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
Suspected bandits attacked the National Park Service office in Orire local government area of Oyo State on Tuesday. The attack occurred around 9 p.m. where several officers were reportedly killed or injured during the incident. Further details, including the exact number of casualties, are yet to be confirmed. The State Police Public Relations Officer Olayinka Ayanlade was said to have confirmed the incident. You're watching the live broadcast of News Express. When News Express returns, DICO's revenue rises as federal government paid 458.75 billion naira electricity subsidies in 3 months. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that short break. And then business news. Electricity distribution companies, also known as DISCOs, posted measurable operational gains with tariff collection efficiency rising to 80.7%, up 4.63 percentage points in the third quarter of 2025. The increase in revenue signals gradual improvement in revenue recovery amid non-cost reflective tariffs, according to the latest data released by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. According to the report, despite the introduction of the Band A tariff regime, government subsidies remained a critical lifeline for the electricity value chain, accounting for 58.63% of total GENCO's invoices in third quarter. The federal government has inaugurated a joint implementation committee to plan a national digital literacy conference and oversees the training and certification of 1 million Nigerians in digital and emerging skills. The committee said it has prepared the groundwork for Nigerians to attain 95% digital literacy by 2030. The committee was inaugurated in Abuja by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, General Services Office in the Office of the SGF, Ibrahim Kana, at the launch of the Clearly Wealth Digital Skills Nigerian Skill Up Initiative. The Permanent Secretary said the initiative aligned with the federal government digital transformation agenda and the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy and the Renewed Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. On the foreign scene, provisional results released by the electoral authorities indicate that President Faustin has been re-elected for a third term in Central African Republic. He, the 68-year, had been widely expected to win a third term and had told his effort to steady a nation-long plague by conflicts. Zahrau Nasir has details.
Part of the opposition has called for a boycott, condemning the election as a sham and lacking political dialogue with the National Authority of Elections, stating that Tuodera won more than 76% of the vote. His main opponent, Aniseto Agies Dolegiali, came second with 15%, while Harry Mari Dondra was third with 3%. Turnout was around 52% for the December 28 polls, in which voters also cast ballots for national, municipal and local lawmakers. The final results will be announced in mid-January after the review of any appeals. Tuodera went into the election in pole position in a 7-strong field after a new constitution was adopted in 2023, allowing him to seek a third term. Zahrau Nasir, reporting for Global TV.
United States President Donald Trump is discussing options including military action to take control of Greenland, open tensions that Denmark once could destroy the NATO alliance. Trump has stepped up his designs on the mineral-rich self-governing Danish territory in the Arctic since the United States military seized Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro last weekend. The president and his team are discussing a range of options to pursue this important foreign policy goal utilizing the United States military. Uganda has denied plans to shut down internet access ahead of next week's election, following claims by the opposition leader Robert Kyagulanyi, also known as Bobi Wine, that authorities could restrict collectiveness to disrupt mobilization and the sharing of results after satellite provider Starlink limited its services on the directive of the Communications Regulatory. The Agenda Communications Commission and the Ministry of Communications said there is no plan to block the internet, describing the report as rumors while warning that online activities remain subject to the law and stressing that only the Electoral Commission is authorized to announce election results. Uganda goes to the polls on 15th January with President Yoweri Museveni seeking to extend his long rule against challenge from Bobi Wine, as the opposition prepares for a possible shutdown and political tensions remain high following past election marked by unrest and internet blackouts. And in sports, Algeria has qualified for the African Cup of Nations quarterfinals following a 1-0 victory against the Democratic Republic of Congo in Rabat at extra time. Algeria supporters had breath for almost 2 hours until winger Adli scored the goal that sealed their fate and sent Congo out of the tournament at the 119th minute. The move sent the mostly white and green grandstands into wild celebrations. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Football Federation has confirmed that the Super Eagles will leave the city of Fez for Marrakech on Thursday as preparations continue for their quarter-final clash at the African Cup of Nations in Morocco. In a statement, the federation said the three-time champions will play Algeria on Saturday's quarter-final duel scheduled to kick off at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Referees and other match officials in the Nigerian Premier Football League have not been paid their indemnity for officiating in the top flight for about 11 match days, leading to growing discount ahead of the second stanza of the 2025-2026 season. The Nigerian Professional Football League is currently on a mid-season break, and that payment to match referees, assessors, and match commissioners have stalled since March 8. Some of the affected officials who pleaded anonymity disclosed that their basic allowances per match day range from 60,000 to 90,000 naira, aside from the hotel and transport allowances. As Global Television News Express comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories. On Global TV News Express, the federal government has dismissed claims that Nigerian scholarship students in Morocco have been abandoned, describing the report as misleading and deliberately intended to misform the public. In business, electricity distribution companies, also known as DISCOs, posted measurable operational gains, with tariff collection efficiency rising to 80.7%, up 4.63 percentage points in the third quarter of 2025. On foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump is discussing options, including military action, to take control of Greenland, up intentions that Denmark once could destroy the NATO alliance. And in sport, the Nigerian Football Federation has confirmed that the Super Eagles will leave the city of Fez for Marrakech on Thursday as preparations continue for their quarter-final clash at the African Cup of Nations in Morocco. On News Express, a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using our Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.